So today we're going to be talking about how the steps to being mediocre are so small, yet the steps to becoming and finding success are so almost impossible to imagine, and you don't really know where they are, right? You might sort of know where this first step is, failing, but you don't really know. And I mean, personally, I'll get caught in this problem of being like, I don't know where to go. I don't know where this energy is. But these small steps of like achieving mediocrity, and I wouldn't even call it achieving, I would call it more just being, right? You're not really doing anything. There's no active choice happening. So I think that if you want to achieve success, most of us don't know where to start, but I think this video is going to kind of focus on the being mediocre, because I think first, if you want to be successful, I think you have to kind of know what are the traps, right? What's hampering us from being successful and just doing and living our life. So I think everyone talks about this, right? Everyone really talks about social media. That's something that's not really new to discuss, and I think most people would understand it as a very toxic environment. But we do come back. I come back. We all come back in a way, right? And we can't seem to break that cycle. And I think that comes back to this idea of small steps, right? You know, you can be on social media for like 5 minutes, and then you keep going, you keep scrolling, and you keep going, and you have no idea what you're doing, and then you really fall into this habit. And so I think social media, and even I think really reality TV in a way, but I think reality TV is a problem. It's very similar to social media. I think social media understands that. And so if you a lot of Snapchat series will be even reality TV, and they very much focus on other people's lives and promoting other people's lives. And I think there's a lot of there's a lot of good shows out there, right? And I'm not saying don't watch reality TV, distance yourself, don't be on social media. I think these are all great outlets in their own way. And the problem is that you can't be trapped in this mindset of living in the back seat, right, of your own life. And I think that's something I've fallen into, is that growing up, I had this tendency to let everyone be in the forefront, right? And I'd watch people and I'd be like, wow, that's great. But I never, in my mind, conceptualized me being that person, me just doing and living. So I think that this whole promotion of other people's lives has definitely a correlation with people's own mediocrity, right? And so, I mean, an obvious example is that when maybe you go to a sports bar, right? And there's a sporting event on, and these people are phenomenal athletes. Anyone at a top level, any sport, is in that 1% of athletes in their sport. And yes, they'll make mistakes, but we all have this tendency, we get so wrapped up and we're like, I can't believe they would do this. This is terrible. Why would, and everyone has this need to spout off their own opinion. And I think that type of mindset, right? You bottle it up, right? And spout your opinion. And you're like, I know so much, and you throw it out there. That's really what social media is, and even watching other people's lives, right? And it's this, I'm not gonna look inward here, and I'm gonna be so fixated on someone else's life. And I think that's really bad. And that mindset of being in the backseat is so what we can't be doing. And so no one deserves this. No one deserves to be in the backseat of their life. We all have this capability to create, right, and to put forth our ideas. And so I think this video really is just trying to tell you to be willing to promote yourself, right? To not completely cut back off of social media, and that's your choice, but to distance yourself, understand those are other people's lives, and also understand really one big important thing: the type of lives, the type of lifestyles, the type of everything that gets promoted is usually very similar. Very similar. It's a lot of very maybe superficial, a lot of people who are in good shape, which isn't a bad thing, but it's that constant promoting. And I think if you constantly see that, and you're going to be comparing yourself to them, is that you're not at that level. Therefore, I cannot be happy. I am not successful. And you have to kind of distance yourself from what's being compared constantly. What do you constantly intake, right? Whatever you're intaking, whether it's food or what you're watching, it all affects you, right? And so you have to understand that what you're taking in on social media, reality TV, whatever, you have to understand that that's probably going to affect you in the short term and definitely in the long term. And I think that right there can be a very small step to just continuing on, and you're going to go on that downward path. And why even try to tempt yourself and just remain on the path. And I think that we all have the chance to create our own ideas and to promote them. And I'm not saying like success comes from that. I'm not going to say if you go out there and you live your life and you say your things, you step up to the plate, that it's going to be received, but it probably won't. That's the crazy thing, is that it probably won't. You're more likely to stand out. You are more likely, maybe not to stand out, but to be noticed. You're more likely to be noticed if you play by the rules everyone else is playing. You talk about the things that everyone else is talking about. It could be whatever's constantly the trend, right? If everyone's talking about like maybe the Grammys, right? Who won and all that stuff. You're inputting your stuff, but you really don't know, right? That kind of just feeds into everyone else's mindset, and you're just streamlining it to everyone else's opinion, and you're not in control. Why, what's the matter? Why do it? And so I think it just comes down to making your own choices and not feeding into a loop of what everyone is telling you to do, right? Why? Be you, do you, and don't rely off of what you see.